There we go. A little Hangman's trick, guys. Hangman's trick. I'm surprised nobody has yelled at me about this yet. Or mentioned it to me. Hangman's trick is good now, right? Oh, it's good in the PTB. Hangman's trick, dude. Hangman's trick. That's what we all get to look forward to now as killers. The buff of Hangman's trick. I did say to buff Hangman's trick though, so, no matter what ends up happening to the fucking thing, it's gonna be an objective buff. But that's what bothers me. Because here's the thing. You know they're nerfing Hangman's trick. That's not staying in the game, ladies and gentlemen. You think they're gonna nerf you think they're gonna let us keep Hangman's trick? Get the fuck out of here. They're gonna say, they're gonna fucking type some dumb bullshit, and they're gonna be like, well, I mean, when you really think about it, when you picked up the survivors didn't really have any counterplay to Hangman's trick, and they just kind of got revealed, and if you saw them, they had to be in a locker significantly before you picked them up in order to get the counterplay. So, yeah, they're gonna nerf, we're gonna nerf Hangman's trick, yeah, we're gonna nerf Hangman's trick, guys. The only fucking Hangman's trick I see is when Dave Richardsfield does a fucking magic trick with his wand, and then they're gonna do is Dave Richards is gonna do a little PS4 wand magic trick and make Hangman's trick disappear, dude. That shit's going away. Pack your shit, folks. 2.5 second sabotage times, yeah. Yeah, 2.45 second sabotage time. Survivors really needed that buff. Survivors really needed that buff. So now they have two ways to make you not get a fucking hook. Now they can reliably sabotage again, and they can flashlight you still. And all the gens are still flying at 85 miles an hour. 95, yeah. And then they're gonna nerf sabotage. Well, not sabotage, they're gonna nerf Hangman's trick. That's what they're gonna nerf from this chapter. They're gonna give Deathslinger nothing. Deathslinger's gonna go in the game exactly as he is. Deathslinger's going in the game exactly the way he is. He's really weak. Is it already getting nerfed? I didn't read any announcement yet. I'm assuming it's getting nerfed because the devs aren't letting you keep that. No fucking way. No fucking way the devs are letting you keep that. Hey, so yeah, 2.5 second sabotage times. So, and the gens still fly at 95 miles an hour, but Hangman's trick is gonna get nerfed from this patch. Fun Gooses? Who is Fun Gooses? Is he a dev? Yeah, but if you run Infectious Fright, you have to waste a perk slot on it. And only like Myers and Oni really want that in their build. If you don't devote half your build to slowdown, you lose anyway. So yeah, we're gonna nerf Hangman's trick. Hangman's trick is gonna get nerfed, and then the sabotage and the sabotage is gonna go in the game exactly as it is, and then the killer, Deathslinger, he's gonna go in exactly as he is. So yeah. The only thing that's gonna get nerfed from the PTB is the one thing that they gave to Killer by accident. There was no way they actually meant to do this. There was no way they actually meant to give Killers a good perk. Like, seriously. No fucking way they meant to do this. Zero. Not a shot in hell. You got me curious now. I want to know who Fun Goose is. I bet it is. Hangman's trick and Saboteur should just go together. Plus, Saboteur, you don't even really need to see the auras of the hooks, bruh. Fun Goose. I want to see him say that Hangman's trick is getting nerfed. I'll have to pull it up on my real laptop. Yeah, the point of this is that Hangman's trick is going away, people. It's going away. They're not gonna let you keep that. That was the first decent perk we've gotten in months. And, yeah, gone. It was a 3-hour stream. Who is Fun Goose? Is he a dev? It's loading. It's loading, lads. I'm an educational streamer on Twitch. I'm an educational streamer on Twitch TV. Is it the one where it's like, it says... I don't see any 3-hour streams on Bungoose's channel. Whatever, dude. Of course they're not gonna fucking keep Hangman's trick. State of Dead by Daylight, dude. The state DVD is in. Didn't Cotier or something say that we're not gonna design good killers anymore? Didn't he say that? Like, I've never seen a game developing team, like, so dedicated to not designing good characters. Like, they want everybody weak. They want every killer in this fucking game weak, and I don't understand why. Ah, ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's like, it shows you where their priorities are, right? That, like, they see Hangman's trick. A perk that lets you see survivors' auras when you're carrying somebody, and that's what they nerf. That's what they nerf. And I'll tell you once again that tracking doesn't fucking mean shit in this game. It doesn't mean shit. Because you still have to chase them. And they still have the broken loops. That's the hard part. The chasing is the hard part. You can always assume they're going to be at generators. The only reason why Discordance is good is that Discordance gives you tracking information at a time when you need it. He thought the Shitslinger needed a nerf. Oh yeah, he's so good. Shitslinger's so good, man. Shitslinger, man, he run around in pounds, he shoots survivor, he carried them over, man, he reel them in. He reeled them survivors and he whack them. That's too good. Fun Goose is a joke. Don't listen to anything he says. Shitslinger's trash. Every Scott John's video on the Shitslinger is very good. One time I agree with Scott John, dude. Scott John's video on the Shitslinger is very good. Especially coming from a Huntress player. It means a lot more coming from him that he's bad. Because fucking... Why would you... Like, if you think the Shitslinger needs nerfs, he's fucking worse Huntress. What does that tell you about Huntress? Not that Huntress needs a nerf. I guarantee you, what they do, I bet here's what they do to Shitslinger. They make the chain break faster, and they put him in with a 32-meter tear radius. That's what they fucking do to him. Oh man, Shitslinger, he got 24-meter tear radius, man. He can monitor and abuse. He can fucking monitor and abuse, man. He got 16 meters. He got 16 meters. He got 16 meters, man. 60-meter tear radius. That's too good. That's too good. That's the tear radius of Michael Myers, man. Michael Myers is a stealth killer, man. He's too good. He's too good. We take that out. I don't want to watch somebody whose opinions are that bad, though. Shitslinger needs a nerf, says that guy. Yeah, but stupid. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I think the Shitslinger should have at least 2 bullets. That's what I said. He reloads too much. He reloads too much. When you're trying to chase somebody and you're sitting there stuck in a reload animation literally half the time, that's stupid. Give him 2 shots and 115 movement speed. And then what you gotta do to him is you gotta make the chain, you just gotta make the chain break a little, take a little longer to break out of when it's colliding with something. It goes up way too fast and it's not even usable. Because it's like, okay, well it's like, you might be, some survivors will go, oh, that's broken, if that happens, that's so broken. Well, is it though? What if Huntress hits you at the same pallet? What happens to you? You go down. So like, why play him? Why play him over Huntress? Why? And plus, Huntress has consistency. And plus, Scott Junt says Huntress throws whales at you, while the Shitslinger throws a tiny needle at you. This character has so many problems. There's no. But I don't want to give. I don't want to fucking. But see, that'd be good if the stun didn't exist. Then it could be usable at more loops, because then he could hit you. Then he could actually hit you more often if you broke out. They don't care though, dude. They don't care because they don't care about you. What's your rank, Red? They don't give two fucks about you. They care about the revolving door nature of the game, where it's a revolving system of player base. Once a fucking killer gets good, they're way more likely to leave the game. Fucking Shitslayer needs some serious buffs. But it's okay, because we're gonna nerf Hangman's trick. That's what we're getting rid of, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna get rid of the fucking 44-second generator times. We're not getting rid of fucking dead hard. We're not gonna get rid of anything that makes. We're not gonna get rid of the god loops at any of these maps. All we're gonna do is nerf Hangman's trick. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, getting that out of the way, I think I have enough to try to do this. I have about an hour before I start work, so I think I got enough to where we can do this. I have saved. It'll be easy every match. Gunslinger on PS4. Good. Well, here's the thing with him on PS4. It's going to be harder to play him on console. True Talent already said it, I believe him. So, he's going to see a surge of play at the beginning. Everyone's going to realize he's unplayable, and then he'll be gone after 2 weeks. And then you'll never see him again. Except on my stream, because I'll probably keep playing him. Can't wait till they nerf hitboxes. Yeah, they'll nerf hitboxes. I believe it. I completely believe it. They'll make it because the latency is a problem, so they'll just nerf the hitboxes. That's their response. Instead of fixing the latency issue, he'll become Clown. Dude, is he like gonna be that bad though? I mean, like, is he gonna be that good to where we can even say that? Dude, I think Clown's gonna get a rework. I really do. I think, like, if there's any killer that could fucking use a fucking rework right now, it's Clown. Do I have that fucking... I don't have Mr. Puddles yet? Embarrassing. Okay, this game sucks. Anyway, so I think I have enough photos to do this. I have been saving for quite some time some survivor comments on social media. Myers needs a buff. I don't know if Myers necessarily needs a rework. Myers needs that tier 1 buff. Myers needs a tier 1 buff desperately, dude. I don't know what you do to him. You gotta buff tier 1. Tier 1 is a weakness, not a resource. That's his problem. Clown. Corrupt Intervention's a perk slot, though. Like, you gotta keep in mind, dude, when you say, like, he's good if you throw this on there, that's a perk slot. Corrupt Intervention's not even worth a perk slot. Alright, Survivor comments, though, dude. That's a pretty bad killer comment. Okay, so So they released Demogorgon's new outfit onto, and they said get ready to like hunt your prey in the twisted new Demogorgon outfit, right? So I said more like get ready to be gen rushed and teabagged in the twisted new Demogorgon outfit, and then this guy was like more like put on some game slowing perks so that it doesn't happen in the twisted new Demogorgon outfit. Okay, so if I just throw on a gen slowing perk, I'm the best character in the game, right? Yeah, what's this, 2 on Myers. Well, let's go through, look at all my builds, dude. 3 on the Hag, I count Discordance as a gen slowing perk. 3 on the Hag, so yeah, my entire builds are slow down, dude. It doesn't matter. There's no effective way to pop the generators. 2 on Legion. Alright, what's the next one? That one was pretty basic. Let's find another one. Phone. Everybody thrived on Old Ruin. Okay, this is a guy. Here's the next one. This one's about no one escapes death. Ryan Titus is like, we're talking about Noed. He's like, oh, it's such a lame perk. I never use it on Killer. Broken Pin on Legion is godly. And then he's like, everyone was trying to tell him that Noed was needed, and he's like, oh, sure. I know it's needed more because the people who used Ruin as a crutch need something. That proves he knows nothing about playing Killer. That's my problem with all the survivors that play this game. They don't know anything about playing Killer, dude. They don't understand how necessary Noed is now, because there's no real way to stall the generators. I think Corrupt Intervention would be a better I don't think it blocks enough gens at the beginning. Noed's not crutch anymore, dude. I believe it was when the Ruin was there. I don't think Corrupt Intervention's worth a perk slot. I really don't. It's there for 2 minutes and then it's gone. I don't think it doesn't give you enough. The only way you see me run Corrupt is if I literally have nothing else. I do not think it's good enough. Yeah, there you go. Survivors do have like 16 on counter reports, but Hangman's trick has no counterplay, so Hangman's trick's gonna get nerfed. Hangman's trick finna get nerfed. Here's another one. Here's another one. For a lot of these are from women for some reason. I think more women play Survivor. I think that's an obvious statistic. That's not sexist. That's a statistic, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of women don't know anything about playing Killer, so they post cringe comments on social media. This person says, honestly, I think Noed is for people who can't catch anyone in chases or patrol generators. Yeah, but that's like, this is the Survivor mentality, ladies and gentlemen. This is the absolute Survivor mentality. They actually, like, think this game is balanced. Like, the problem is, it's not that patrolling gens, like, they type patrol generators as a sentence, and then that's what it is to them. Like, the killer walks around, the killer walks around, and, like, they think it's that easy to patrol the generators. Like, seriously. Like, I would like to see this person play fucking Leatherface 5 games and patrol the generators. I want to see what her patrol method is. I'm sure it's garbage. I'm sure it's garbage. Like, I'm sure her overall route is garbage. Yeah. But like they honestly think this is the main issue I'm trying to get at here. Survivors genuinely think that they are good and that killer players are bad. They think that they are outplaying you when they win. That's the problem with this game right now. Like, Like, do you know how many fucking survivors that are like trash kiters, trash, and they're at the purple and red ranks? Not to say that they all are, like, sometimes you'll get a game, you'll see, like, just look, I had a game against this David who was ranked 4. One of the worst players I've ever played in my life. Like, he was garbage. But, like, they genuinely think they're good because the game tells them they do good. When they pip up and then they beat you, like, they can be horrible at the game and not only still beat you, but they can rank up and be a higher rank than you are. And it's very sad that, like, at one point my survivor rank was higher than my killer rank. That's what ultimately made me stop playing survivor. Because I got to a point where my killer was rank 7 and I, like, stalled, but my survivor got up to rank 6 and I'm like, this isn't fun. Yes, that's why I don't like playing survivor. I only play survivor when I need blood points. I hate doing it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's not fun. I don't know how these people have fun playing Survivor. And Survivor's just not fun at top level. I don't know why these people think it's fun. Like, it's basically going, I said this last night when I was in a bad mood. It's literally just going and kicking a dude in a wheelchair over and over again. Like, how is that fun to you people? I don't understand. It's like all you do is they go in and they kick the guy in the wheelchair for about 7 minutes. All the gens pop, they leave, they queue up and do it again. Cuphead requires skill. Yeah, dude. A lot of games like Sonic the Hedgehog requires more skill than Survivor. A lot of games require more skill than Survivor because Survivor is a role that's babied by the developers, and like they actually think that they're outplaying you, and they actually think that Noed is crutch. So it's like then when somebody like this chick on Facebook is all like, well, Noed's for people that can't catch anyone in chases or patrols, they have no idea how easy they have it. They have no idea how easy they have it, and like that tells you. Another thing okay. No, sorry to female gamers, okay? I don't want to, this is gonna get into sexist territory here. This is gonna get into sexist territory, but you know what? This is completely 100% true, because of statistics. So a statistic cannot be sexist. Statistically, there are way more male gamers than female gamers, correct? I think that's an accurate statement. So, when you sit here, Pac-Man requires more skill than Survivor. So like when you sit here and like I see tons of women that play this game, which isn't a bad thing, okay? I'm not saying that a female player base, like I think this game has a higher female player base than a lot of other games do. But again, which is fine, but like what does that tell you about the game? Like what does that tell you? When a game like Smash or Mortal Kombat, their female player base isn't very high, but this game's female player base is high. What does that tell you? Statistically, if this game was a good game that was like as competitive as the other games, we should see statistics. Like we should see statistics that reflect the accuracy of of the gamer player base, which is probably 80% male, 20% female. But this game doesn't have that, I don't think. Yeah, but survivors don't want a challenge. There was one guy, like damn, I should have screenshotted this one because this one pissed me off. There was a guy who was like, who asked if survivors want a challenge, and the guy's response was he wants to play Survivor while he watches Netflix. Like if he's not able to watch Netflix, he's not having fun. Like, how embarrassing is that where one side can literally watch Netflix and beat you while you're sitting here as killer stressed out of your goddamn mind? That makes total sense. Because, like, this game isn't hard for survivors because the majority of like, the casuals of this game play Survivor. And they think, and then you get bad opinions like this, where they say Noed is for people who can't catch generators. Like, that's a sentence to them. They say patrol gens because that's a term they hear where killers are discussing it. And so they just spit it back out. They parrot it like they know what they're talking about. It's bullshit. Okay. And then, okay, here's a meme. Yeah, you can't play music when you're a killer. Dude, I literally play Survivor doing it. When I play Survivor, I literally do every other thing but pay attention to the game. You don't need sound to play Survivor. If you play killer without sound, you're handicapping yourself. Which is why it's really nice that the sound bugs are still in the game. But when Decisive Strike gets bugged, they fix that immediately. Okay, so here's another meme from a woman. Okay. Dude, I sound so sexist. Okay, so here's a meme from a woman. It says, "You're a killer, right?" It's that SpongeBob meme where the guy's showing Patrick a card. Like, the killers are Patrick, right? And the other guy's like the dude and the superhero. I don't know what this fucking mean. I don't watch as much SpongeBob as I should, being a memer. It just says, "You're a killer, right?" The card says "Ding Dong," and the Wraith's face is photoshopped over Patrick, and it says "Yup." And it says, "The objective is for survivors to do gens before you find them and kill them," right? That makes sense to me. So if survivors do gens, but you're not good enough to catch them, find them, gen rushing. That's the meme, guys. You get it? Gen rushing. Like gen rushing some kind of fake terminology. Like, this is what I mean. They legitimately think that you are worse than them. That you're outplaying them. When it's not that. It's not the fact that you're worse than them. It's a distinct power difference between the role. One side is babied by the developers, and the other side is left out to dry and relies entirely on the skill of the person playing it. And even then, that's not enough. None of these killers do anything to assist you. None of these killers do anything to, like, assist you. It's really just all your skill. Like, seriously. But the role of survivor does more to assist the people that play it. You don't need to last like 3.5 minutes in a chase to win this game. A killer could down somebody in the first 30 seconds of the game, but the generators still fly fast enough to where you could still lose. Embarrassing. So there's that fucking meme. Okay. Next one. And then this person, I don't know if this is a girl or a dude. This person says, "Gen rushing is a made-up term." Gen rushing is a made-up term, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's a legit term that's being coined when the survivors are going way too fast on the generators. Gen rushing can still happen on a down. The term gen rushing applies to when the generators go too fast. It basically happens every game. And when you're a killer player, you can determine the exact point where you have stopped the gen rush. The gen rush starts at the beginning of the game, and you're a killer. The importance of you being meta is stopping it. Like, when have you, and like usually killers do this by having a good snowball game. That's the easiest way to stop the gen rush. So snowballing / stopping the gen rush are basically the same terminology. Like, again, when you're a killer, you can easily identify when the gen rush was stopped in a match. I could go back and watch any game right now and tell you when I've stopped their gen rush strategy, because that's the meta. One down doesn't stop the gen rush. But survivors don't think the term is real, and they think they're better than you. Next one. Oh, this is about the doctor. I hate him so much. Doctor sucks. Fucking cheat, doctor. The update is OP. Doctor update is OP, everybody. Yeah, embarrassing. Embarrassing. Unpopular opinion, Doc is for shit players who can't win a chase to save their life, so they rely on his crutch, loop canceling, shock therapy that has 2-second cooldown, and massive AoE, which takes no skill to aim with little risk of missing. This is what they think, people. being in a chase is inherently difficult because of the locations, and all you have to do to counter shock therapy is drop the pallet early. The reason why this guy hates doctors is because he's probably a greedy son of a bitch that tries to get way more mileage off a pallet than it's worth, and then he gets hit. Oh, he's a stupid pallet camper that thinks he's good. A lot of these women that play this game are probably pallet campers. No offense to women that are actually good, like Rye. But seriously, I'm talking about them casuals. Alright, moving on. What's next? Speaking on behalf of the Dead by Daylight community, you killers need to stop playing as the Doctor. He's basically a cheat character that reveals the location of survivors no matter where they are. It isn't fair, spelled F-A-R-E. Thanks. Fair, everybody. Because tracking's so good. Dude, you can know where every survivor on the map is at all times and literally still lose this game. Like, literally. You can literally still lose this game. Every survivor could play with their aura revealed at all times and you could still lose this game. Like, seriously. Absolutely. Absolutely, you could still lose this game. Yeah, but the game tells them they do good. Like, they think they're good because the game tells them they do good when they get out and they escape and they pip and they get a lot of boldness for being in a chase with you. Like, they think they're good because the game tells them that they're really good. The game tells the survivors, oh, you did really good. You did really good. You did so good that match. You didn't do shit. You didn't outplay anybody. This is still about the Doctor, dude. Oh, this is about true talent. This is about true talent. This person says, I can't stand him. Is he good? Sure, but dear God, the crying and the comments are just as toxic. You can say the most stupid things like survivors should all be injured or only allow one perk and it will have 100 plus likes. It's a killer mains and a circle jerk in those comments. If True starts to lose, all you hear is the course of stacked SWF blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's what that guy thinks of true talent. Well, here's the thing. The reason why you see that is that true talent is like one of the best killers in the world. So like when you see him lose, it's not, most of the time you watch true talent lose, it's not because he's getting outplayed. Yeah? Fucking object of obsession needs to be removed from the game. This guy hates true talent because, like the thing about true talent is true talent has an eye for the game. So when you see him saying that killer's not strong enough, like the reason that you don't like True is because, and the reason like lots of killer mains go to him is because a lot of killer mains have a better eye for the game than survivors do. Absolutely, absolutely, killer mains have a better eye for the game. Killer mains are happy to tell you when something on their side is dumb, like Legion. Like, I don't think anybody defended Legion when Legion came out. Who defended Legion when Legion came out? Scott Junn didn't defend Legion. True Talent straight up just refused to play him when he came out. When something is dumb on the killer side, we are happy to agree with you. Yeah, but Legion was dumb, dude. That's why he was nerfed. But like, I didn't hate him as much as everybody else did because, I'm like, what about the survivors' dumb shit? But nobody cared about what I said. But yeah, Legion was kind of dumb. Stop playing Doctor. It's a bunch of Doctor hate comments, bruh. Oh yeah, here's the fucking guy that was like. Listen to this. Listen to this guy. This is the guy that has a 4-man SWF squad. This guy's the guy that had the 4-man SWF squad that could only win 60% of their games. So he said, if you had read my comments, I have no problem. Survivor side, I win 50%, and that either 2-man SWF or solo, or in a 4-man, it becomes 60 to 65% win ratio. I went too easily as killer, and now they're making it even easier. This is one of the they nerf toolboxes. So I said, only 60% win ratio on a 4-man SWF? God, your squad must suck. You should be 80 or 90%. And he's like, if you are hitting the higher than 65%, that you are clearly better than me. But again, I'm content and I mostly play with one friend. But again, I don't have a problem Survivor side, as I'm happy where my win ratio is where the game is supposed to be 50-50. He's happy that his win ratio is where the game is supposed to be 50-50, ladies and gentlemen. His win ratio is 50-50, so it's like he's saying that his win ratio is 50-50, so that the game must be healthy, and I'm sure his rank 17 killer wins every time. So that means the game isn't balanced, right? So it's like, no, it's not that. If your win ratio, you have when you are only winning 50 or 60% of your games with a 4-man SWF sweat squad, it means you suck. That's what it means. Because an ideal win ratio for 4-man SWF on Survivors is 80 to 90%. You should win 80 to 90% of the game if you are playing optimally. If you are doing anything but that, you just suck and can't comment on the game. That's what's going on here. It means you fucking suck. As killer, you will probably... Yeah. If your win ratio on killer is 50%, you are not anywhere higher than yellow. Purple to red rank killer definitely lose more than the bottom tiers of killer, which is dumb because we're the ones who earn the spot. We earn the spot by being better than everybody, and all we get is punished for it. All we get is punished for it by them nerfing our role and making our job even harder. Like, why do we play this game, dude? Here's my favorite one. Killers always say that the survivors are favorited in this game. Zarina's perks versus Deathslinger's perks have proven that in this chapter that is a huge lie. They literally brought instant heal back, and he's saying that the killers got better perks. What was a good killer perk this chapter? The Hex sucks. The perk where you have to hit 2 basic attacks has a worse discordance, and then the other one has a cooldown, and relies on them not being able to. That relies on them letting go of a generator. All of his perks have to be combo with something else to take up half your build. So why run them over anything else? And the survivors literally get insta heal back, and red herring is gonna be annoying if you don't have the right perks. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, embarrassing. Oh, here's the survivor saying that, here's the survivors discussing the fact that you can just one-hook yourself. Simple, just die on the hook rather than disconnect. Yep, there you go, lads. There you go. Killers need to be nerfed. You're right, dude. We're dumb. Killers need to be nerfed. Oh yeah, a survivor disconnected. So he made a post and said, I've been here since the very beginning of the game and I've dealt with this bullshit. Dealt with a lot of this bullshit, but this takes the cake. He got a fucking ban for disconnecting and he's gonna quit now. Because he got a ban. And then here's another comment from a whammon, Victoria Miller. That's probably not allowed. Don't quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is, Noed is one of only several ways that killers have to insta-down you repeatedly. Excuse me, who can insta-down you on the roster? Okay, consistently. Who has a true insta-down? Billy, Myers, Bubba, Oni. Those are the 4 killers in the game with a true instant down. Trapper can potentially instant down you with his traps. Huntress has iridescent head, but that's going away. And then Clown with the bottle can kind of do it, maybe. And that in Ghostface. I forgot about Ghostface. But Ghostface doesn't use his, so there's that. And then Devour Hope, Make Your Choice, which are both not good perks. Iron Maiden, not a good perk. Is that it? Is that everything? Haunted Ground, not really a good perk anymore, because chances are if you see a Hex Totem, you can just leave it alone. Add-on perk and Bubba. And then, and DS is 1 time a match. Like, this is how ignorant these people are. This person says Decisive Strike is 1 time a match. No, Decisive Strike can happen 4 times a match. And Decisive Strike is anti-momentum. Once a killer gets going, they're more likely to get Decisive Strike just because of the rates they're getting downed. Not because they're actually tunneling. If a killer is working too fast and getting too many downs, Decisive Strike can potentially just destroy all their momentum, even if they're not tunneling. That's what the problem with DS is. And so she thinks Decisive Strike is way more situational than killer instant downs. Oh yeah. Because when I think of consistent instant downs, I think of Leatherface, who is definitely not situational. And and it's like, okay, well that's 1 second chance perk. How about Dead Hard? Adrenaline, Balance Landing, Sprint Burst. Sprint Burst is a 2nd chance perk, because you can be outflanked and then not be outflanked anymore. Sprint Burst is a 2nd chance perk. You got all this shit in the game. It's bullshit, bruh. It's bullshit. Alright. I think the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play 1 game and explain the Gen Rush, because survivors still think it's a made-up term. So, got a safety game, right? Okay. I'm gonna play 1 game as I'll go in as Trapper. I still don't have a bag on this character, do I? I should have 1 bag. I should have 1 bag. Let me get a blackboard so I can keep it. Okay, I'm going to go in and was Trapper and explain what the Gen Rush is. Is that a pop though? I see pop. Let's nab that real quick. I got yeah, on paper I am, but you know how Red Ranks goes. Pop. That got ruined. Whatever. Ruin sucks. I was gonna try to get that bag. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's take play with your food out for pop. Alright. Anyway, so we are going to explain the Gen Rush because survivors don't understand it. Like, when killers talk about the Gen Rush, what are they talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Blackboard to keep this. Okay. I'm gonna do 1 game and then I'm gonna have work, so this is gonna be it. Okay, so let's talk about what the Gen Rush is. The Gen Rush is not... explaining what the Gen Rush is actually kind of difficult, because... Oh, a map, we're not doing this. I'm not playing a map as Trapper, sorry. I will lobby dodge that to shit, bruh. The another thing they have to just beat me. A map just freely beats Trapper. Okay, anyway, because what the Gen Rush has kind of changed. Gens before friends equals Gen Rush. That's a pretty good way of saying it. Anybody see it? No, I see a map again. I'm not doing the fucking map. Although that Claudette uses my skin. The Claudette that had the map uses my Smexy skin. I'm not playing as I will not as Trapper. I refuse to play against maps. Okay, but what basically, because survivors don't think this is a real part. The Gen Rush, I would argue that the Gen Rush is a state of the game at this point because of no ruin. This change is very recent though because they took ruin out. The Gen Rush, what it is now, is simply the state of the game. It's simply the opening of the game. When the Gen Rush immediately starts as soon as the game starts. Okay? That's what's going on. Does anybody see a key? Let me unready. I don't see a key. Okay. The Gen Rush starts as the game happens, and as a killer that has been playing this game long enough now, I can tell you the exact point at which I stop it, if I do at all. Because one down does not stop the Gen Rush. The Gen Rush is a state of the game that you really have to actually stop as the killer. And that's basically who's meta. You can literally look 8 people and survivors still got, yep, and then teabag and then you get all of them out, yeah. The Gen Rush is, okay, we're at Azrov's, that's great. Oh, okay, that's good, that's good. This means that there's conflict here. There's probably, we're probably not dealing with SWF. My goal is just to stop the Gen Rush so I can, like, I don't care if I win this match, my goal is to just try to stop the Gen Rush so I can explain the game to people that already know it. But they're trying to, mostly for Survivor players that still believe that the Gen Rush is a made-up term. The Gen Rush is a state of the game now, I would argue. And I'll show you what I mean. At least we're having some conflict here. Well, I bet we get Blood Lodge. That's my luck. I'm playing Trapper, so the map we don't want is Blood Lodge. Because, like, if there's a God Lap, If there's a God Loop, I can at least trap it and get rid of it. Because it's 2020, no ruin, and survivors still don't believe the Gen Rush is real. Wretched Shop, alright. The Gen Rush starts right now. The Gen Rush has started. It has started right now. I need to find an actual decent location to trap. Shack, okay, here we go. Okay. The Gen Rush has started right now, and this is just one of Trapper's weaknesses, the fact that he kind of takes it in the ass for a second. Here we go. Okay. The Gen Rush has still not been stopped. Oh, that was weird. Alright, we still have not stopped the Gen Rush, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we got our first down. We have not stopped the... Oh, okay, no we didn't. We still have not stopped the Gen Rush yet. The Gen Rush state of the game is still there. It's still there. Because there's 2 survivors on a generator that we haven't seen yet. Okay, there's 1. Okay, there's 2. That's me, so do I! I think that's the meta now. I think starting the 3-gen strat at the beginning of the match is meta now. I have pop, but I didn't use it because The gen rush has not been stopped yet. Alright, 3 gen strat, we're going for that one, that one, and that one. So we gotta just make sure that, that we don't want them to get that one done, because then our strat's ruined. We need to make sure this save doesn't happen, because she's already, okay. They popped that trap, which means they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it, that sucks. Entity summon, please. Nope, okay. Nice, okay. Those two are probably SWF. She probably told her not to go out the window or something. That Nia, though, we gotta go get that Nia. She has DS. A juke. What in God's name? Okay, there we go. We have to go get the Nia. We have to go get the Nia off the gen, because the gen rush is still happening. She's gonna get it. Yeah, okay, yep, we lost. Yep, see? Like, we were unable to stop the gen rush. Okay, now, with 1 generator left, we have finally stopped it. Because more than 2 survivors are not unoccupied. But see, at this point of the game, this is why it's a problem. At this point in the game, it's too late. It's too late. Even though the gen rush state of the game has stopped. Alright, never mind. They're bad. Forget it. Forget it. They just suck. Oh, they just suck, bruh. You see, if I was facing good players, what happened was, if I was facing good players there, it would be too late. It would be way too late to actually deal with it. Where is this last person? There she is. If I was facing good players, I'm not ranking up this May game because the gen rush wasn't stopped. The only way killers rank up, I've actually determined this now. The gen rush is actually way more important to the game than you realize, because killers don't rank up unless they stop it. That is another way you can determine if you've actually stopped it. I did not stop the gen rush this game, so I don't rank up. It's literally that simple. That game was, when the gen rush was, I see, exactly. I didn't stop the gen rush, so I didn't rank up. Let me rephrase that. Like they sit here and look, they gave me a golden gatekeeper for that. Like like that wasn't a golden gatekeeper. I didn't stop the gen rush. This is why this doesn't mean anything. I just got more points because the gates happened to be closed. But it's like, okay. I got the gen. I did stop the gen rush that game. I stopped the gen rush at that game when there was 1 generator left. And guess what? There's still enough time that they have to get that generator done without actually, you know, dealing with it. Like, they can deal with the fact that that the gen rush has been stopped when there's 1 left. The gen rush was only stopped at the very end with 1 gen left when I had at least when I had 2 people slugged and 1 person on the hook. That's when it got stopped. Because as the game progresses, the harder it is to stop. Because you have to have at least 2 people you have to have at least 3 people unoccupied. That's the way you stop the gen rush. Whether that be through one person slugged, chasing another, and one person on a hook, whatever combination you want to go for. Stopping the gen rush is literally just making sure 3 people are unoccupied. If there are more than 3 people unoccupied, and when I say unoccupied, I don't mean you're chasing one guy, there's another guy going to get the rescue on the guy on the hook. That doesn't stop the gen rush. That pauses it. That pauses it. It doesn't stop it. Stopping the gen rush is actually just straight up fucking making sure it's not an option again. Pause, because like when you pause it by downing one guy and then maybe and hopefully you can find another really fucking quick, that pauses the fucking gen rush. It certainly doesn't negate the fucking thing. And then like again, if killer stops the gen rush and with enough time to actually play the game, that's when you see who ranks up. If you don't rank up, it's because you didn't stop the gen rush. Change my fucking mind. So that's what it is, Survivor players. It's a state of the fucking match. It starts early, and until the killer stops it, it's in the game. That's what it is. Learn the fucking game, and don't just parrot terms that you fucking hear on social media. That's what it is. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Survivors are ridiculous. And they will always be ridiculous. Alright, what were we against that game? Because I already see some jokes. Let's see, 4 decisive strikes. 4 decisive strikes. This was the SWF Fang Ming group right here, the 2 adrenaline users. Borrowed time, I only see 1. How many exhaustion perks? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 3 of them are running sprint bursts, because I'm telling you sprint burst is meta. A brand new part on a commodious toolbox. And a green flashlight. And an iron will. 4 decisive strikes, ladies and gents. But X Ruins used too much. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Game suck. Game ridiculous. There you go. That's what the gen rush is. And that's how you stop it. Again, and we only stopped it there because we played potatoes. That's why, like literally, those guys weren't good. Those guys weren't good. They weren't good at all. Those guys were terrible. Look at their blood points. Every one of them D-ranked. Embarrassing. Maybe not really D-ranked, but like look at their blood points. That's how little they did this match. And look how much gen pressure was on me. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Behavior Interactive should be embarrassed that the game is in the state that it's in right now. Embarrassed. Those guys, look at this. You know what this is telling you? You see these blood point values? You know what this is telling you? Number 1, they couldn't recover. As soon as pressure hit them, they couldn't get out of it. That's the very first thing that tells you. Secondly, that they barely played. They barely did anything. They barely played. And look how much they had 1 gen left. They barely fucking played. They didn't do anything. Nobody got more than 7,000 blood points this match. They didn't do anything. Embarrassing. They didn't do anything and they almost won. That's embarrassing. Behavior has no fucking remorse about this. This isn't a good game by any fucking stretch of anyone's imagination. Nobody can seriously sit here and tell me the game's in a good state. The game was barely played and it was almost over because the generators go too fast. I didn't even explore. I didn't even need to go to literally 20% of the map that game to beat these guys because I didn't have time to actually play the game. Nobody did. They didn't have time to play the game. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Friday the 13th has a slower objective than this game. Embarrassing. No shame. No shame either. It'd be different if they had shame for it and were like, oh, we're going to try to fix it. That would be one thing. Behavior has no shame about this. They like where the game is at right now. It's embarrassing. This game is a spit on everything that gaming stands for. And everything that gaming is. The idea of competing with somebody in a fucking video game. This game shits on it. There's no competition here, dude. Zero. There was no interaction between me and, like, anybody in that entire game. There was no interaction. Zero. One guy stepped in my trap. I chased maybe one guy. I think I had 2 chases that whole game. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Shame. For shame behavior. For shame on Dave Richards. For shame on Matthew Cotier. For shame on everybody that designs this game. For shame on everyone who works on it and then has a fucking live stream and tells me it's too technical. And tells me I know nothing about it. Embarrassing. How do you disrespect your player base like that? By insulting them. By saying that they don't know anything about the game. Embarrassing. Motherfucker, I know this wasn't a good game of Dead by Daylight. Because I played Dead by Daylight. I can tell you what a good game of it looks like. And guess what? If you nerfed the generators, you'd see good games a lot more. There's a big problem right now is that killers are forced onto the defensive side of their strategy so early. Because usually, when a killer begins to camp and linger in the area, it's because they're on defense. If a killer is on offense, that's when they linger around. That's when that is when they go out and start building up their snowball for momentum. When a killer is on the defensive, is when you see the lingering in the area. The fact that you see killers on the defensive right now is why you see a rise in face camps and why you're seeing a rise in killers camping. Because they have to start playing defense extremely early, and like fucking Solid Shot says, killer meta right now is to initiate a 3-gen strategy literally as soon as the game starts. You need to pick 3 generators, isolate them. Don't let the survivors touch them. Hopefully have somebody dead, initiate a 3-gen, and keep it that way for the entire game. That's where killer's at right now. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And you want us to do 12 chases and expect us to have enough time to do it. Embarrassing. For shame. Y'all should be fucking embarrassed about where this game is right now. Embarrassed. But then nobody has any fucking remorse there. They're like fucking sociopaths. No remorse. No, they don't hold themselves accountable for anything. It's embarrassing. Awful. Horrible. Horrible, dude. I don't see how people don't think they're right up there with Blizzard. I think Blizzard's more political, but I think that's the problem. Embarrassing is the point. I'm fucking done, dude. I've said enough for today.